Did you guys know I wanted to make this video a whole year ago? Yup. In fact, I originally wanted this to be my third video, but if you've watched my other Redo June videos, then you already know the story. But anyways, this video. In June of 2021, I bought and played the Dragon Quest trilogy that's on the Nintendo Switch. I enjoyed playing them and thought, hey, I should make a timeline video, but then making the Miitopia video took longer than expected. So I decided to delay the Dragon Quest video for a bit, and then I delayed it more, and more. And more. And now here we are a whole year later. Well, better late than never, right? So here we are. To close off Redo June, we are going to look at the original Dragon Quest trilogy, also known as the Erdrick trilogy, and explain their timeline. And with a whole new Dragon Quest III remake right around the corner, there's no better time. Also forgive any mispronunciations. I'm just a boy. Once upon a time in a land named Overworld. Real creative, I know. A man named Ortega and his wife were expecting a baby. When thinking of a name, a voice called out to them, "Insert player name here." But anyways, Hero, which is what I'll be calling the protagonist, was born. The family did live happily for a while.
That is until Reddit shows up.
The king of Lihan asked Ortega, their strongest warrior, to go after this Archfiend. And so he did. It was he who had chanced the perilous journey through blistering cold and scorching desert, traveling for many days and nights, risking life and limb, to reach Baramos's lair, only to end up presumably dead. Well, with their strongest warrior gone, a new hero had to rise to the challenge. And so Mom volunteers Hero. Okay. When Hero became an adult, they were then asked to gather a party and set off to defeat Baramos. The main task at hand was to go around the overworld and obtain the 6 orbs. These orbs will allow Hero to reawaken Ramia, a mighty bird that will allow Hero and their party to soar over the mountains that protect Baramos's castle. And of course, during this giant fetch quest, Hero does what their name will tell you and does heroic things to help the people of the overworld. They help an elf queen learn that her hatred of humans caused her daughter, who was in love with the human, commit a Romeo and Juliet, saved a king who was being impersonated by a troll, helped the village see that their queen was a monster in disguise, and even helped a couple reunite in death. After obtaining the 6 orbs, Hero is able to reawaken Ramia, and is given the Sphere of Light by the Dragon Queen, who dies laying her last egg. With the Orb of Light in hand, Hero enters Baramos's castle and defeats him. The party returns to Aliahan to be welcomed by a celebration, which doesn't last long. As it turns out, a being known as Zoma is the actual villain of Dragon Quest III, so the world is still in danger. Well, time to hop into this hole, because apparently there's a whole other world under the overworld, which I guess is why it's called the overworld. But in order to reach Zoma, the party must obtain the Staff of Rain and the Sunstone in order to create the Rainbow Drop, the item needed to reach Zoma's castle. Along with the Rainbow Drop, Hero picks up a sword, a helmet, a set of armor, a shield, and a magical pendant. With these items, the party heads off to Zoma's castle for the final showdown, but not before witnessing the death of Hero's father, who was apparently alive the whole time, just stuck in this other world with no memory of who he was. During the battle against Zoma, Hero uses the Sphere of Light to remove the barrier Zoma put around himself, and just starts wailing on him. In his defeat, Zoma gives an ominous message that even if he's defeated, it's only a matter of time before a new evil arises, and Hero won't be around when that happens. But whatever, because the king of the underground world, named Alfgard, rewards Hero by giving them the title of Erdrick, which is pretty cool because by defeating Zoma, Hero actually closed the bridge between the overworld and Alfgard. So Hero's kinda stuck here. After a celebration is held for Hero and their party, it is discovered that Hero is nowhere to be found. The only trace of them left behind is their gear. These items would then be cared for as sacred items, and to be renamed the Sword of Erdrick, the Helmet of Erdrick, Erdrick's Armor, Erdrick's Shield, and the Mark of Erdrick. But man, poor mom. First she was widowed, and now her only child is lost forever. Luckily, a post-game can fix that. In the post-game, which may or may not be canon, Hero faces off against Zenlon, a wish-granting dragon who will grant the wish of anyone who can defeat them. You could wish for Ortega back, or a big titty magazine. That will help mom cope, right? Right? Oh wow, we're in the future now. It's been years since Hiro defeated Zoma, and while they just ran off during a celebration party, it seems like they did settle down at some point because their descendant is soon discovered. And just in time too, because as Zoma predicted, a new evil has appeared. This guy is the Dragon Lord. He's kidnapped Alfgard's princess and plans on making her his bride after he takes over the world. So now the descendant of Hiro, who we'll also just call Hiro, has to gather Erdrick's gear in order to reach the Dragon Lord's castle, which is conveniently in the same place as Zoma's castle. So after saving the princess and obtaining the rainbow drop, Hiro enters the Dragon Lord's castle, defeats them, and marries the princess. And that's it. The first Dragon Quest is only like 8 hours long. So, Dragon Quest 2. After the Dragon Lord's defeat, Hiro and the princess got married and set off to establish 3 new kingdoms: Maidenhall, Cannock, and Moonbrook. And once again, evil has arisen. Moonbrook is attacked, and its princess is turned into a dog. Word of Moonbrook's fall spreads, and the king of Maidenhall sends his son, a new descendant of Erdrick, who we'll call, you guessed it, Hiro, to team up with the prince of Cannock and find the princess of Moonbrook, since they are also descendants of Erdrick. After a wild goose chase, Hiro finds the Prince of Cannock, who we'll just call Prince, in an inn, and we find out that Erdrick's powers, the original, have been split between these descendants. While Hiro has Erdrick's brute strength, he also lacks magic. Prince can cast powerful spells, but also has the endurance of a popsicle stick, and the princess can cast healing spells, because what else would she do? This game was made in the 80s. After arriving in Moonbrook, or at least what's left of it, Hiro and Prince learn what happened to the princess, and that the only way to change her back is with Ra's mirror, which they find in a swamp. Hiro and Prince turn their cousin, who we'll call Princess, back into a human, and she joins the party. With this family reunion, the party has to go around, find all of their ancestors' gear, which only Hiro can wear, and the 5 sigils, which will be needed to get the Eye of Rubis later. During the journey, the party is even able to return to Alfgard and meet, gasp, the Dragon Lord's descendant. What could he want? Hey bro, so like, I know our ancestors were like total enemies, but I don't really want to fight you, man. You seem pretty cool. But you mind doing me a favor and defeating this Hargon guy? He's totally like the actual villain of this game. Oh, okay. You wanna join our party? You know I'd love to, man, but I'm almost done with my Adventure Time rewatch. Fair enough. Have a good day, sir. After staying in an inn, Prince gets hit with a death spell from Hargon, so Hiro and Princess get a magical leaf to cure him. After that scare, the party makes it to Hargon's castle and... oh, it's my house. Oh, hey, Dad. Wait, are you cheating on Mom? Ah, Hiro. No need to worry about that Hargon dude. He's a real bro. You should give up on your quest and leave him alone. This can't be right. My dad is still a virgin. Eye of Rubis. So as it would seem, Hargon used a spell over his castle to buy himself more time to revive his master. So with no time to lose, the party makes their way through Hargon's castle and defeats him. Glad that's over, now time to head home. Well, that can't be good. Okay, so Hargon was successful in reviving his master, a monster known as Malroth. The party fights this new fiend and comes out victorious. The party returns to Hiro's real home, where they are celebrated and their legend passed down. Hey man, thanks for defeating Hargon. Hiro, you and me are like brothers, only closer. And thus ends the story of the original Dragon Quest trilogy. Of course, this was a heavily abridged version, but I still tried to get the key parts. Man, I can't believe that I finally made this video. I'll be honest, for a while I thought that I'd never make this video, but I'm finally done with this video and redo June, even though it's July. I just want to thank you all for being here. I love making these videos and I hope you guys love them too. Who knows what the future holds for this channel, but whatever happens, I hope you wonderful people stick around. Have a nice day, you wonderful people.